All right, guys, welcome to the MMA Fight Game Podcast. I am super excited to have Western New York's version of the Diaz brothers here. They were, to me, until I just saw them on the call, mythical creatures. I didn't know if they existed, but I heard massive buzz about these two athletes as straight killers and dogs. I want to welcome both the Schaffer brothers, Joe Schaffer, who has a 11-1-1 kickboxing record, depending on who you ask. And then I have John Schaffer, who has a 2-3 record as an amateur, depending on who you ask. Schaffer boys, thanks for joining me finally. How are you?
Good, how are you? It's a pleasure.
Good, absolutely. I'm fired up to have you guys. I've heard a lot about you guys. I haven't been able to see you guys fight because it seems like it's very tough to get you guys matchups locally. Do you know why that is?
I just think we're a tough matchup for really anybody. We have unusual footwork coming from a kung fu background. We both started doing kung fu when we were 4 years old, and it just creates a little bit of a different dynamic, as far as the footwork and the way we throw our strikes. And we've obviously adapted our style to the kickboxing and everything like that. But yeah, I just think we're a hard matchup. I've beat people that are higher ranked around the area, so it's been harder and harder for me to get a matchup. I just got done fighting at Lace Up Promotions, which I was happy to get a matchup out there. But even the guy I was fighting there, he's from Rhode Island, so it's like it's getting harder and harder. And this kid here, he's an absolute killer, and he's progressing very, very quickly. So and with the proper training facilities, it's a lot easier for him, a lot easier for me to be able to go out there and do what we love to do and fight and show people what real martial arts is.
I also think that because I'm a junior too, it's tougher because there's not as many junior kickboxers as there is adults. And then the more fights you have as a junior, a lot of the times the less another kid would want to take a fight, because these days people don't really like a hard fight. They know that's going to challenge them and not be easy.
Yeah, Johnny, how old are you?
I'm 16.
So you got 2 more years. I just talked to one of your teammates, Nate Smith, who's turning 18 soon, and he's looking forward to taking that pro bout. And Joe, you're 19, or you're older than that?
22.
22. I'm sorry, 22. And talking offline, you boys are also, not only are you guys badass fighters, but you're also entrepreneurs because you guys own Schaffer MMA. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, we love it. It's been a blast and a great opportunity for us. We've always talked about this. Like I said, we started doing traditional martial arts when we were super young, and we've always talked. Our whole family has always talked, hey, one day we're gonna have our own place. One day we're gonna go out and fight under our own name. And now we finally get that opportunity to do it. It's absolutely unreal to me and to everybody else, and it's just great. And honestly, it's never been about making money. Just been about showing people what real martial arts is. And, it's been great because I've been in a situation where I've coached, John, and I've coached my dad the same night, same promotion. I didn't get to fight on that one, but I got to coach them the same night. A lot of people are never going to be able to do that in their life. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to even be able to do that and then help people out and bring people to the ring and help people get ready for combat.
Yeah. So was your dad the driving force to get you guys into martial arts, or was it somebody else?
He started us when we were both four. Like I said, in they call it Hungar Kung Fu. So it's a Southern style Chinese martial art. It's pretty brutal if you're gonna compare it to Taekwondo and karate that are more of a soft bouncing style. Kung Fu is rough. It's a strong style. It's meant to hurt someone. So we started in that, and my dad was watching, me and then my other two little brothers, and he eventually started it actually 2 or 3 years after I started doing it. And then he eventually he got ranked and I got ranked and John came up in the rankings. So then we all just started doing martial arts together one day, and it kind of clicked there, and then from that point on, it's just been crazy. It's a crazy road how it's went through. And my dad was a very big help for me for my last fight, because I got a cut on my eyebrow in camp, and even John, they both held pads for me. because I got this cut on my eyebrow. I had glue in my eyebrow and I couldn't get hit for 5 weeks before the fight. So no sparring. I had no sparring before my last fight whatsoever for about 6 weeks. Went into it and I felt in great shape. It was a 5-round fight. Busted my foot up a little bit in the 3rd round. Went back out there, kept hitting them with good kicks and punches. So they really helped me a lot. They've helped me get to the point where we're looking at professional level, after this world tournament. And even for him coming up, it's just going to be a lot easier for him to get to that point where we're going to start making money for this stuff.
Yeah, I love hearing that, because obviously the buzz is very high about you guys on the street. I mean, Danny Kirkpatrick, Bubba, they can't say enough good things about you. Before we get into what's next, let's talk about the Munich, Germany trip for the ISKA World Kickboxing Championships. You guys have to be beyond excited to be able to represent Team USA with other killers, guys like Michael Stevens, Nate Smith, among others. I know I was just talking to the coach online, Michael Walters, and he was saying that he's super excited. Gianna Villano, Marshall Juergens is also on the team there. How much of a relief is it to go into a competition where you're going to get matched up, you're going to see a different style, and you can actually compete and let it all fly?
You want to take this one?
I mean, I guess it's just like, I'm speechless. I don't really have a lot of words for it. Like, even the day I heard it, I was just like really excited, and I just want to keep training, and I just can't wait to step in there and test what I feel like is world-class striking, world-class kicking, and letting it all out in there with someone that's game, that's down to bang, and I'm really excited, and so is he.
Oh, 100%. That's the whole reason why we did this in the first place was when I was growing up, I go to karate, taekwondo tournaments, and there would be this, it's like point sparring. So you'd hit them with one strike, and after the strike's over, they break you up. They say you win the point or whatever. So a few of the tournaments, I would hit people, and I'd crack them too hard, and they'd be on the ground, and they'd take them in the back room, and then they'd come back, and they'd look at that kid, and they give him 3 points and say he won and I lost. And I kind of just remember that, and I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what happens after that one strike? Like, what happens when the fight continues? Mm-hmm. So that's when I was like, you know what? I got to go to an MMA gym. I got to see where this martial arts, what does Kung Fu really do? Like, what does martial arts really do? And how do you fare against people that train to fight you like this?
Yeah. And what does it mean to be around other athletes at your caliber, like your Michael Stevens, like your Nate Smith, and all those other guys that I mentioned prior?
Because you want to be able to not only match what they bring to the table, but try to make them get better too. Because, I see him go out there like in his last fight and do a great job. That makes me work hard in the gym. I'm like, okay, he's getting after it, I got to get after it, So like you can kind of build off that. And that's been really, it's the reason why me and John are such a good force too, is he, like, recently he gets better and now I got to catch up. And now I catch up, and now he's got to catch up to me. So it's like we continue to build on each other. We're not breaking each other down. We're only getting better. So, and it's easy when you got somebody right next to you that's pushing you, pushing you to get to the next level. So it's great. We even have a little bit of competition with cardio when we go to the gym. So like today, we do about a 2,000 meter row. He's like, oh, I got a great time. It's one of my best times yet. What did you get or whatever? It's like
9:31.
9:31, and then I hit like a 9:26 or whatever. So we have a little competition with it, and it's fun because then now we're getting better from it on top of it,
and building a relationship
for sure.
Yeah, and John, talking to you, you're still in high school, right?
Yep.
What's it like being a business owner, being in high school, focusing in on that?
Managing time can get kind of hard because school didn't start yet for me, but school starts in like 10, 11 days. So I got a lot running through my mind, especially with the world tournament. I'm going to have to manage my time a bit better and it's pretty normal, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like I live a pretty normal life, other than I do martial arts and I love it and I love fighting. But it's pretty normal, to be honest.
Yeah, going into that, have you ever gone into school with a black eye or some kind of damage?
Yeah, yeah.
The administration kind of questions you a little bit.
And they're like, "What's going on at home?" I'm like, "No, I'm a kickboxer." But most of my school already knows by now that I do that. But it's cool to be there and to talk.
Any of the teachers fans of martial arts and kind of just give you like the third degree about what you do and the training and things like that?
Yeah, I have a lot of teachers that are fans throughout the year, and I even have a hall monitor at my school, and he loves me and he loves watching all my stuff and knowing what's going on. And I have a lot of support there too, not just at MMA or out in public. School is a big help too.
Awesome. And so after the ISKA World Amateur Championships, October 18th through the 22nd in Munich, Germany, what would be next for both the Schaffer boys?
Get matched up.
That's
what we need. We need someone to fight. I want to go down to 135 to see where I'm at, because when I turn pro, I'm looking to fight at about 135 pounds. I'm looking to get that 135 pound FCP, kickboxing title. That's what I'm looking at. I want that. That's the belt. I want that belt. I want to be 35, 40, and 45. They don't have 40 anymore, but they took that division away. So in my eyes, I'm still the champion there. 45, 40, and 35, I want all the K1 titles, because I just feel like I'm the best there and I have a lot to bring to the table. And every time I go out there, it's an entertaining fight. It's never a boring, pitter pat. I'm throwing my spins. I got, all my other moves that I do. So I'm going out there and I'm trying to not only, win the fight convincingly and look for that knockout, but put on a show. I really, really think the showmanship is a big part of the fighting that a lot of people don't get. You don't have to be cocky, and you don't have to, you could be humble and still have showmanship and show people what martial arts is all about.
For me, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
For me, I'm really looking before I turn 18 to fight for FCP junior title as well. It's hard to get matchups for me as a junior. It's not an easy thing to do, but I also would like to run that last fight back I had. I got caught, and anything could happen in a fight, and that's what going in there. Yep. And I know that next time I go in there, I'm going to get the job done, and I'm going to be walking out with that title. But I'd love to get that rematch that I last had at FCP. I just want to keep fighting there until I'm the best.
Yeah, I know it's not for a lack of trying with Bubba. I know Bubba tried to get you matched up. I've been consistently working with FCP since March of this year. So I know it's not a lack of trying. Do you boys have aspirations to do mixed martial arts, or are you going to stay just in the kickboxing world?
So I've had, like I mentioned before, I did have one MMA fight. Like we mentioned, Tapology just sometimes doesn't get stuff right.
Yep.
So he marked as 0-1 to Diego de Jesus, which, if you look him up and you look at his credentials, he's a very seasoned fighter, very good grappler. Got taken down a bunch of times, ended up feeling like I was losing that fight. In the third round, he got up, had his hands off the mat. I kicked him in the face, and he was done. But then they said he was a grounded opponent, so all that stuff happened. But eventually they brought me back out and said, you won the fight. So it was a bit of a roller coaster. Yeah. But it goes now. We still grapple, and we love grappling. I wrestled for 7 years in high school as well. So I love grappling, and MMA is definitely in the future for us for sure. It just depends on when that's feasible for our bodies to do it, because, at a young age, I've just been banged up here and there with certain things. So I have to be careful with, getting slammed on stuff and certain things like that. And, opponents are going to attack stuff like that. So I obviously know going into it, they're going to slam me on my shoulder and all that. The last dude I fought, first thing he did, grabbed my leg, swept me right on my shoulder to test, oh, is it good now? It's all healed up and everything, but I'm just not trying to get into MMA until I know my grappling as good as my striking on top of that. So it's about injury-free, and I need complete. So it's like a lot of these people, they go and just being a grappler, they go and just being a striker. I want someone to go, I don't want to be anywhere with this guy. If it's on the ground, I hate this. If this is on the feet, I hate this. If we're in the clinch, I hate this. So it's like, I need somebody to treat a fight like that, you know, against me like that. And I know in order to do that, I need to have the proper training and amount of time to do, you know, that type of stuff. So we're looking to be world champions eventually. That's the goal. It always will be. That's what a master level striker or kickboxer or MMA fighter is. You can get ranked as a master in any type of martial art, but to really know if your stuff works, fair combat with another human being that is training on the highest level is always going to be the goal for us.
Yeah. What about you, Johnny? Do you have aspirations to do MMA as well?
Yeah, I definitely do. I could be honest, my ground isn't at any caliber yet. We're to the point where if in 2 years I probably won't do MMA immediately, I'm going to start to transfer into adult kickboxing, and then I will transfer into MMA. But just like he said, I want everything to be sharp. I want it to be as good as it can get. So when I go in there, I'm confident with whoever I go in there, if it's a grappler or if it's a striker.
Yeah. And then Joe, do you have an ETA time when you might be ready to take another MMA bout?
If I was going to do another MMA bout, it probably would be when I'm pro, to be honest, just because at this point for me to take another AMI one, I don't know if it would be so much worth it for me at this point. Just because when I do turn pro, first pro fight and probably first few pro fights are going to be kickboxing fights for sure. And I do think that there's going to be a lot of buzz for certain, especially with the type of strikes I throw. And then being able to transfer from kickboxing to MMA, showing that striking pedigree, I think that it can be a lot of trouble for the 135-pound division, even professional. I do feel like, you know, I've been striking for 18 years now. I do feel like I can be at the highest level if I am given the opportunity to be able to show that. But I do think, you know, 135-pound world champion somewhere for sure. You know, UFC, Glory Kickboxing, it's coming up. You know, and it's definitely for him too. He's progressed a lot in a very short amount of time, and with, like I said before the interview, with proper training, the proper facilities, we could be the best in the world. And we know we're definitely heading there.
Which you guys have right now. Where are you guys located? Where's Schaffer MMA?
We're in the McKinley Mall in like Hamburg Orchard Park, New York. That's
near like the Bills Stadium.
Yeah.
It's by my favorite restaurant, Lucia's on the Lake.
Oh yeah. They have some good food there for sure, man.
You guys been over there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, they have Buffalo, man. Like, I don't know, like, I understand everybody thinks that, you know, their place is the best. In Buffalo, we got some of the best food in the entire world. You know,
wings.
Our chicken wings, second to none.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So, boys, I really appreciate the time today. I'm super excited. I know I've been chasing you guys like a professionals for a very, very, very long time. I'm glad I was able to lock you down. I was super excited last weekend to hear that you guys were selected to be part of Team ISKA, not just because of the buzz that I heard about you guys, but because I know how hard it's been to get you guys matchups. And on an international level, you guys, you know, October 18th through the 22nd in Munich, Germany, you guys are going to be able to showcase your skills and really test to see where you're at on a world stage, probably rightfully where you belong. So I'm excited about that. I truly appreciate the time today. Just sit tight, okay?
Yes, sir.